If you want to, you could do like a quick pan of it, and then that sets the.
Hey everybody, I'm sitting here. I'm lucky enough to be sitting here with Mountain
Man Kurt Steiner,
Man Kurt. So you're from
Pennsylvania,
and this is your second time here.
That's correct.
And we're very honored and privileged to have you here for the Great Southern Stone Skipping Contest. This is our third year, but this is your second time here.
This is my privilege.
Oh, and we're glad to have you back. And I understand you just got back from Scotland.
I did. I was in Wales, Scotland, and England, primarily in Wales and Scotland.
For stone skipping?
Well, technically stone skimming.
Okay.
Great. In the UK, the contests are for distance, right? Here we count number of skips. There they count essentially how many meters they traveled, right? How far. And I entered the Welsh Open this was actually late May at that time, and I did win that tournament. They also have an interesting feature where you throw 5 rocks for your entry fee, but you can re-enter as many times as you want until the end of the day. And it was on my 5th re-entry that I threw a stone 373 feet.
Wow.
And that was sufficient to win it.
373 feet.
Right. Now, unfortunately, the next day they had an official Guinness record event, and the Scottish champion, Dougie Isaacs, came in and demonstrated why he's the champion and threw 398 feet. However, it was my satisfaction to place among the UK best, and that's a pretty rare company, and I appreciate the goodwill and generosity they gave me over there. Without a little bit of help, it wouldn't have been doable for me. I just would have been overwhelmed by the logistics.
Well, I don't think we could have had a better representative from the States.
Well, that might be argued, but I'll take it. The same thing could be said true of John Baker here.
Yeah, John Baker, you can see him in the background. He's been walking by a couple times here.
He and Alex Thayer and Greg, they've all been because it's a 1,000-mile drive for me to get here. And they take the edge off so that I can kind of get my head in the game, get my spirits back and the road cobwebs out, and try to actually do what I want to do, which is entertain people to the point where you get the local people saying, how does he do that? And I want to do that too. And once you have a few people within an easy drive of your tournament, then you start to feed a kind of competitive spirit of people get to know each other because they can be here every year, and that tends to feed the crowd, and once you have that, you have a full-blown self-perpetuating event. And not only that, then you start generating people from Arkansas who might be willing to go challenge the great Scotsman,
I can't tell you the number of times I've shown people a YouTube video of you skipping a stone, and what you just said, I hear a lot. How did he do that? How did he do that?
Repetition and assessment and practice, right? It's just like anything. It's like any musical instrument or something. You make an effort, you watch your failure or hear it, and then you try again.
Speaking of effort, and I don't mean to digress to this,
but
when I sat down with you, I looked at what was in front of you, and I immediately said, what is this?
You did, in fact.
So you had this scroll type. Let me show you guys this.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm going to come around.
Yeah.
And I actually thought it was in a foreign language.
There's like another 20 feet rolled up in there. Yeah.
But it's a scroll of exactly what?
It's a quasi-organized, somewhat tongue-in-cheek explanation, free stream of consciousness explanation of everything I can think to say about skipping rocks. It's just a lot of it's advice, a lot of it's conjecture. A lot of it's conjecture. There are certain modes of behavior that stones undergo when they're not perfectly balanced or symmetrical. and they're very hard to see with the eye, and so you have to see them kind of with your understanding of material process. But the reason I'm writing this down is because I think that ultimately it plays into, like, if somebody says, how can I beat the world record? These are some of the things you'll have to think about. You don't have to believe them, but if you think about them, it'll launch you off on your own experiments, which will make you better. And it is that I'm trying to communicate, right? The goal of the quest, say, of investigation that leads one to invest oneself with the purpose of doing better than I did, right? And so I'm giving all this over. The only caveat is that I'm not writing it in plain English. There's diagrams, but most of it's written in a phonetic shorthand.
Okay.
So there's a tongue-in-cheek aspect to what I'm doing. But it's simple enough once you just understand that every character has a certain sound to it.
Correct.
Then it just reads like any
other
stenographer's writing or something. So, and I'm hoping that there are a lot of people out in the world who really think they've got it figured out.
Let me stop this guy quick. Mr. Baker.
Hello.
We're on live Facebook video.
That's good. That's
So-
good. Somebody bring me beer.
So you're the one who started all this.
That's true. I am with my friends. We started it. But we're happy to have it here at Fairfield Bay. We're very excited about this year. Got the champion here with us.
Yeah, and we were just visiting live on Facebook. and
Excellent.
I wanted to stop the founder of this whole event and give you due credit because I think you do a lot of work all year to get this thing up.
Well, it's a growing charitable event. We're very happy with it.
I know my phone rings off the hook the closer we get to the event from you,
That's true. We talk a lot.
which is good.
And we appreciate all the hospitality
Oh.
Marina shows us here.
Couldn't do it without you guys.
Thank you.
the charity.
Do what now?
Explain the charity.
Yeah, this is for.
Oh,
you do it
explain the
for
charity.
food
Yeah,
bank.
that's true. There's 3 food pantries that surround this part of the lake.
Correct.
They're all affiliates of Arkansas Food Bank, and so we divide the proceeds from this event between those 3 food pantries, and it's been very nice. We've raised almost $7,000.
Last year
so
you raised
far.
how much?
Last year it was right around 3,000.
Yeah, so that was good.
Yeah, so we're
And
hoping
this
to
year's
break
probably
that.
bigger than ever.
Yeah, I was going to say I hope we can break that this year.
Yeah, and this year we're having a pre-party to draw
It's true.
people
We got
in.
the stone skipping pre-party tonight down here at the marina at from 6 to 8:30 or so. Everybody needs to come on out. It's going to be a free concert, rock and roll band out of Little Rock coming up. Get your floaty,
Yeah.
get your lawn chair,
Get in the water.
get in the water, stay on the shore, whichever way you want to do, or practice skipping rocks. 'Cause
Yeah.
You're going to have to beat this guy tomorrow, and that might be tricky. So you need to get as much practice in as you can tonight before it's go time tomorrow
There you
morning
go.
at 9 a.m. It's $10 to compete. It's all going to charity. And you, even if you don't want to compete, just show up with your lawn chair and watch it. It's amazing to see rocks do what these people can do with rocks. To continue across water, it defies the eyeballs.
It's like they're alive.
It is like it's like a little motorboat is going
Yeah.
across the. It defies the eyeballs. So
Yeah.
it's an amazing thing. Great talent, and obviously Mr. Steiner's great talent. We're happy to have everybody come in.
Great fun event, great cause, helps people and gets people together. It's on a good family holiday weekend,
It
so
is.
it couldn't be better.
It's a great way to start the weekend off right and hit the lake after the charitable event, and hope everybody can come on out.
Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Mr. Conrad.
I'm going to quote you on that one.
You guys are ready.
Defy.
Hey, do you guys know how to skip stones?
What time is that?
9:30.
9:30 in the morning?
Yeah, this is Mountain Man.
One good arm.
This is the champion Mountain Man. Right here.
This arm doesn't work.
You
Oh.
only need one. One arm, one finger, one
There we
rock.
go.
And it wasn't.
You know we got a concert tonight.
Oh, is it here tonight?
Yeah. Tonight here. 6 to 8:30.
Oh, well then we can come because the game doesn't start till 8.
Playing on that?
Yep. Playing on that. Get a floaty, grab some drinks, and get in the water.
Sounds like a plan.
So, just good old rock.
I should be collecting things that John says now, like defy the eye.
Yeah.
right? That's good. That's
It
the
is.
point. There is the thing about, you take a rock, it should not float, right? And yet when you skip a rock, that's exactly, I think, what's being tapped into is your experiential understanding that a rock should sink.
I know. I
And
hope
so
you don't
when
mind me touching and lifting this.
No, it's
But-
just I brought down about 80 pounds, 90 pounds from Lake Erie, and this is kind of what she spits out. And 90% of North Americans will throw stones from Lake Erie.
Really?
They're shale primarily, and the right thickness, right. And now I saw some beautiful ones in Easdale in Scotland that I have to admit are temptresses of my affection. But I'll be true to my Lake Erie stones. But that's the idea, is that, and even if you can pretend for a little bit that a stone can bounce a few times, right? It's when there's a certain time limit that the head can't think beyond. When you see a stone continuing beyond that timer, it triggers a kind of a mystical awe thing, right? Just like any like a kid seeing magic,
Yeah.
right? You can grow, crass, or what's the word, acclimated to it over time. But it's nice that stone skipping is such that when it's done really well, even adults haven't seen that yet. And so even they have a throwback to that young experience of, that's impossible. This is magic. There's something going on with the cosmos here,
Do you know what the
And-
joy is for me? Just talking to you.
No, I have no idea.
The joy is to see someone who actually is participating in an activity that created an epiphany for them. Because I think a lot of people go through life and they never have the joy of an epiphany. I see the joy of epiphany in you when you talk about this.
Well, and that is an incredibly astute observation, if I may, because I have said, you remind me of two things that I remember thinking myself. One of them is that the fundamental mystery of it all is that once you see this epiphany, the next step of the mind is that when you trace the origin of it, it comes back to yourself. And you go, wow, I did something that amazed myself. And I can do it again, right? It's not like a one-off. It's like, how did I, it's, and the second thing I say is that I've never seen a really good stone skipper who wasn't ultimately fascinated by their own great throws, right?
That's great.
It's just, wow, you don't get tired of it,
Yeah.
right? Your bar goes up
Yeah.
and you start comparing yourself to other greats. But if you can hang with them, the feeling just perpetuates. It doesn't, I have yet to see this hobby exhausted in any way, It just doesn't happen. There's always something to learn, always something new to see. The complexities of a stone like this, spinning under those energies, right, and under the variety of styles that people provide, bring different body types and everything, it constantly creates activity that you can't quite anticipate. And so there are in fact people who are a little bit non-approving of the fact that I'm writing a lot of this stuff down, right? Which is really the secrets of stone skipping. But see, the thing is, the joy is not in the understanding intellectually.
Sure.
It's in the sharing, yes, for me, but especially sharing in a sense that I can help somebody else get to where they're on their own self-perpetuating trip, right? Their own self-perpetuating trip of epiphany. I'm not giving anything away, because ultimately the understanding of the mechanics is the easy part, right? Most people, it's the easy part. The hard part is getting yourself to be that intermediary between the
Yeah.
stone and the experience.
Cool.
I can't put that in the paper, so I'm not giving anything away.
Right.
All right, I'm just giving you maybe a shortcut to save you 5-10 years of practice, you know, because not everybody has that much time or is limited in their access to the rocks or the geology or the water, right? So yeah, it's okay to shortcut people to the right path, because the path is still going to be a long, awesome journey,
Right.
and that's what I'm trying to do.
Cool. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. We'll be introducing you to people. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. You're going to be here to enjoy some music tonight.
I don't think I have.
A choice.
Well, no,
You have a choice, but
Well, in the sense of, in as much as that I just follow the obvious
Yeah.
enjoyment. Yeah.
we're privileged and honored to have you here. We're glad to see you again, and we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Me too. Thank you, sir.
You bet. Thank you.
Yeah.